Know this. Introducing the original Blood Clot podcast, not players. Soothing semantic. Special dedication. All the way from New York. Boom. Yeah, man. SWOT semantic. Yeah, me know. Boom. Soothing semantic. Yeah, me know. Big ups to the man. Soothing semantic.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Have you been looking for luxury watches for quite some time, or have contemplated doing so, but you don't really know who you can trust and where the best prices are? Look no further. Time for Luxury has got your back. Make sure to check out the site. Some of the watches they sell include Patek Philippe, Rolex, AP, Cartier, Hublot, Richard Mille, and many others as well. Make sure to check them out. You will be very, very glad you did.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here.
Welcome to another episode of Soothing Semantics. I'm your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. The podcast is on all major audio platforms as well as YouTube. Today we have the Power Real Estate and TikTok couple, Grant and Veda. How are you guys? Thanks for coming.
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having us.
I'm doing well. How is it up there in the Carolinas?
It's cold, man. We just got back from Disney World. It was like 86 degrees, and the night we got home, I think it was 30. So it's nice and cold.
30?
Yeah. Well, that was last night. Actually, I think last night it got down to 25. So yeah,
it's about 35 right now.
It's getting a little cold.
Wow. Okay, I'm about to go up to New York, man. So I'm gonna get a taste of that. That's all right. That's where I grew up, though. So let me introduce you guys further. Grant is a real estate commercial agent, as well as a commercial broker, as well as a wholesaler flipper. We'll go into that very soon. And Veda has a very impressive TikTok of 1.1 million followers. You can find her at Stevens Fam. That's the name of the TikTok page. Your Instagram, you said, was Veda Stevens?
Veda Stevens, yep.
Okay, at Veda Stevens, and Grant, yours is Grant A. Stevens, correct?
Yep, for TikTok and Instagram. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna drop all the links.
Awesome.
Now, Grant, as far as your commercial real estate journey is concerned, you mentioned that
Yep.
there was a tough period for you guys. How did you push through that in the earlier periods?
Yeah, man. So I got started. Well, so let me back up. So I got my license. I think in 2017 it was my freshman year of college. And I never really pushed it as much. I just kind of did some family stuff. In 2019, 2017, Veda and I got married. We had our first daughter in 2019. During all that, I was working for a developer. We did primarily Dollar General stores, and I was basically a project coordinator for them. So through all that, I had a good job, and that's kind of when I got my first taste of commercial. I kind of did some site acquisitions, project management work, made a salary. It was great. And then after we found out we were pregnant with our first daughter, we were under contract on a house, or maybe had just closed on it. And I lost my job. So all that happened, and it was super scary. And so in 2019, that's when I really dove, like headfirst into commercial. Veda paid basically all of our bills for an entire year. I refinanced her car at one point. I took out, probably 2 personal loans to pay for things. You know, there were times, you know, where, I mean, it was hard, you know, but like, you know, I knew that I could do it. And I had an awesome mentor, Clifford Blake said is his name. You know, he's been, I mean, absolute rock star, you know, I mean, millions of dollars in commissions, you know, earned over his career. So I just stuck with him, man, you know, and he believed in me, and that was a huge part of it too. You know, he believed that I could do it. So, you know, I just pushed through, and, you know, I didn't have any other option either. You know, it was either make it in real estate or, you know, go get an inside sales job somewhere, which I almost did actually, by the way. And
What were
I
you gonna
actually
do?
worked overnight at Amazon. So I was going to work for Allstate. I was going to work in their call center, and I was going to work, man, like 4:30 p.m. to like 12:30 a.m. like
But
every
that's
day.
still salary.
Yeah, that would have been a salary job, but like I would have had to have taken it, you know,
Yeah, you got to do
if real
something.
estate wouldn't have worked, I would have had to do it. And through that, I even got a job overnight working at Amazon, and that was horrible. That was like overnight because I knew I didn't want to pull away from real estate, but I needed money.
So
You
you're
know,
doing
so
real estate during the day and Amazon at night? Like, is that what you? So
Yeah.
you didn't sleep? Like, when did you sleep?
yeah, not
Didn't do
really, not really, not really.
I
But
respect
you know,
that.
I knew I couldn't get a job during the day because I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to take away from my real estate. So just had to do what it took, you know.
So when did you find time to actually like rest your head, like realistically? How did you survive the week?
Man, I mean, I did sleep a little bit, you know, and I only did that for a really, really short period of time. You know, it basically, I think I worked like 1 or 2 nights, and then basically like made the money that I needed, and then I kind of quit. So it was only like 2 hard nights, but you know, it was a valuable lesson learned.
Absolutely.
So
I think most people go through, whether they're in commercial or residential, go through a stage of struggle in
Yep.
transitioning to real estate. Even if
Exactly.
you have a nice cushion, there's no guarantee in how long things are going to take until you start to really build that wheel of business. And it's hard,
Exactly.
man. Most people don't stay in it. Most people,
No.
the large majority of people fall out of it. First year into the 80th percentile.
Yep.
And then from the people who stay, very few really close much. So,
Exactly.
you know, to be able to stick it out, and now you said you're doing over 200,000, right?
Yep. I think my first full year, I maybe did like 20 grand. That's where we were struggling. You know, year after that, I think I did a little bit over 100, like 110,000 in gross commissions. And then this year, by the end of the year, it'll probably be like $250,000 in gross commissions earned.
That's fantastic, man. So you've been able to get through that very difficult stage. You know, it's early on in your marriage. It's definitely not fun. I'm 27, but I've never been married, so I can't exactly speak from that experience. But in terms of really having to squeeze through a very difficult window in your business and in life, I've definitely been there.
Yep.
And it's not easy.
Not at all.
It's I think in that period, all the more so you have to push as hard as possible, because most people, when they sense that very strong resistance, financial issues, even, you know, any sort of mental issues some people might have from the stress or whatever, they completely pull back and they say, okay, this shit's way too hard. If you can resist that urge to push back and just go forward, completely go forward, I think that's when everything gets really, really good. So Veda, first off, I've never heard that name before. Very interesting name. Is it just your parents named? I've never heard that name. Did your parents just gave it to you, or is it from a certain country? Does it have a certain meaning?
So it's actually from a movie called My Girl. It's like a movie that came out, I think, in like 1990 something. It was a really popular movie. I haven't ever seen it, but the little girl who was like the main character, her name was Veda. And then when my mom heard it, she always said that if she ever has a girl, she's gonna name her Veda. Yeah, so I've only met I haven't even met someone, but I've heard of a couple other people named Veda.
Never heard of it. It's a nice name.
Thank
I
you.
was telling Grant, it sounds like if my Brooklyn grandmother was trying to pronounce Darth Vader, she would, you know how Brooklyn people can't say their R's.
Yeah,
So
that's what he
like,
told me. That's funny.
Darth Vader. So it's not a bad Halloween costume for you guys.
I know.
You can be Luke, you can be Darth Vader.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know, ain't a bad idea for your next TikTok clip.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so now going, I'm corny. What are we gonna do? So now going into your TikTok growth, how did you go from no followers to over 1 million followers in a year, right? I mean, that's what Grant
Yeah,
told
it's
me.
been a little over a year. So we just started making videos, I mean, back 2020, like right when it was right before quarantine hit. So we just started making TikToks because my sister had Musically back then. It was Musically and it transferred into TikTok. So we started making just like little skits with Stella and stuff, like having her dress up in different outfits. And then one video blew up where it was a video of me and Stella having like matching mommy and me outfits, and then that blew up, and then we just kind of went from there, did the same thing, did lots of like mommy and me matching outfits, and then tons of just like random little TikTok skits, and then it completely blew up. But that video you talked about earlier, the one that was like 40 million, that's where probably over 50% of the followers came from. We got a ton from that video.
How soon did it grow? Was it like an overnight thing or a couple of days?
It was a couple of days. So the first one, I think overnight it probably hit like 10 million views. And then over the course of the next few days, probably actually like a week and a half, it grew all the way to like 40 something million.
40 million. Do you realize how many people? I mean, you guys do
I know, it's
obviously.
crazy, right?
Do you understand how many views that is? It's so
Yeah,
insane.
it's a lot.
40 million human beings saw that video. It's so crazy. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how many followers did you get from, meaning, say you had, I don't know, 100,000 followers. Once you got those viral videos, how quickly did it jump to a couple of 100,000? Like, you must have had a big jump. When did that?
Yeah,
when
so
did
it
that kinda-
typically takes like 24 hours. So as soon as I'll know automatically, as soon as I check my feed that a video went viral, because I'll see that constantly when you refresh, you'll have like tons of new followers coming in. So every single time one of my videos blows up, I'll probably get like that 40 million one. I probably got over 500,000 followers, probably. Yeah, just from that video. And then shortly after I posted that one, I had another one. It got like 8 million, I think. So then it continued with those. So those two are kind of blowing up at the same time.
What do you suggest? I'm a podcaster, so the content's different.
Mhm.
What do you suggest in terms of if I'm putting short clips from my videos? Do you think TikTok tends to value certain videos more? I mean, like, what can you advise in terms of that? How often to post, what posts, what kind of tags? I know now I'm asking some big questions.
I don't know. So TikTok is tricky lately. They haven't been, they don't have the same algorithm that they used to have. I don't know what's been going on, but a lot of what I think are really good videos have not been pushed. And then some of like my random kind of like dumb videos have been pushed a lot and it'll get a lot more views. I don't typically use hashtags, so I'm not really sure. When I did use hashtags, I didn't feel like it helped at all, so I never use them anymore. But I usually post like once a day, sometimes twice a day, but I have seen that a bunch of people recommend posting like 3 or 4 times a day, which like I don't have that much content to post 3 or 4 times a day.
I mean, I can probably do that because I have a lot of episodes.
Mhm.
So, I mean, just realistically, I don't really want to handle my TikTok. I'd rather just delegate it to someone else. So that's probably what I'll do.
Yeah.
You know, just because
Yeah, it's a
there's
lot.
so much social media. My brain gets tired of all this because I'm not
Yeah.
even on TikTok. I don't use TikTok as of now.
Oh,
But I know
really?
I should though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I should utilize it. So now Veda, you've built a very, very big following on TikTok. Grant, you've built your business significantly. How has that changed your lives, and even have you gotten business from her TikTok
So
clients?
yeah, so I haven't gotten any clients yet, but I have gotten some new brokers reaching out to me. So our firm, Blank Real Estate, we're I think about 6 years old now. We were in 2019 when I first joined, we were named I think the 10th fastest growing company in all of Charlotte, and we were the fastest growing real estate company in Charlotte. So when all of that was happening, so Veda basically blew up like crazy, got a ton of followers on Instagram, and then I basically started getting people reaching out to me on Instagram, you know, hey, like, how do I get my real estate license? Hey, how do I do this? So our company just merged with eXp Commercial. So everybody's heard of eXp Realty, right?
Oh,
Um,
EXP is they spend more time recruiting other realtors than they do selling real estate, I think.
yeah. So
That's what it seems like.
it's interesting, man. It's interesting, so on the commercial side, like we're totally, we're the same company, but we're a totally separate entity. So on the commercial side, we're doing things a lot differently than residential does. Um, anyways, long story short, I've had a few brokers reach out to me about joining our team from basically people knowing Veda and then seeing me. So I haven't had any clients yet, but I have had some brokers reach out. So
Okay, that's awesome. I have no doubt you'll get business. I
no,
think it's
I'm sure.
inevitable. And what is amazing is I know you guys have a different system with EXP, the way you have like your company stock.
Yeah.
But with Keller Williams, you have the profit share. I don't know if I'm not exactly sure how you guys work yours, but
Mhm.
bringing someone to the company to Keller Williams will will give you passive income so long as they close. So if they stick
Yep.
around and they make some money, you make a percentage, and whoever they bring, you build that tree. So you bring someone, and if they bring other people, you make money from them as well.
Mm.
So having a system like this, if you have a bunch of people asking how to get a real estate license, if you bring them, say you were in Keller Williams, again, I don't know how it works, but Keller Williams just launched a free real estate school. So
Mm.
instead of having to pay for a real estate school, I would send them the link to the Keller Williams school. And once they're already taking the school, they're quite likely to go with that company because they're already providing them such a service. So if you have a large following like that, that's just potential to really build that passive income, have company stock. I'm sure you thought of that,
Yeah.
but
No,
that's
for
just
sure, man. Yeah, no, and EXP is the same way. So with EXP, you get stock whenever you close your first deal with the company. Whenever you bring on agents, you get stock awards whenever they close their first deals. And same thing you just said. We get, it's called revenue share with EXP. But same structure. You have the person here, and then if they bring on an agent, and then so on. You make percentages of what they make. And then also with EXP, so they pledged 50% of their revenue goes back to the agent. So, for example, you make $3,000 a month in revenue share, is what it's called, which is passive income from the brokers, in your organization. And if you make $3,000, but the company only pays out, 48%, if there's an extra 2% left in income, they'll pay it back to the broker, as an override. So it's interesting. Same structure. So
that's cool. Yeah, as long as there's passive income involved, I'm all for it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, 100%. So what's it like doing real estate in North Carolina? Are a lot of people, because the only time I've ever been in either North or South Carolina was when I was driving from New York to Florida or vice versa. So
Yep.
how's the market there? With COVID and a lot of people leaving New York and New Jersey, leaving California, trying to leave Canada. I mean, Canada's like a prison now. So, so is California and New York. But
yeah,
now with people, a lot of people are coming to Florida and Texas. Is North Carolina also a big destination as well?
Yeah, man. So Charlotte has the fastest growing millennial population, from what I understand, in the country. So, there are tons of people moving to Charlotte every day, and I'm going to get these numbers wrong. But I think Charlotte is something like 4,000 apartments behind schedule. So, there's a massive demand in Charlotte. I also read a study that said that if every builder in the Carolinas built to like full capacity for like the next, I don't know, 5 years or something like that, we still couldn't catch up to the demand that we have here. So real estate as a whole is just nuts. The residential market's insane, which is why, we're holding off on buying a house for now. Same thing for commercial, multifamily is extremely hot. Retail got hit a little harder, specifically in Charlotte, because the city of Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, they implemented some pretty heavy, COVID restrictions, closing businesses and things like that. So there's some retail locations, in the city that got hit pretty hard, but
Mhm.
you know, through COVID, multifamily, you know, industrial, flex, you know, industrial and office, like all those areas, you know, are, I mean, boom, you know, better than ever throughout Charlotte. So, so we're definitely blessed to be in a good market. You know, I think in Texas, you know, specifically like San Antonio, Austin, Houston, you know, Nashville, you know, the Southern Florida area,
These are all
Central
very
Florida,
hot. Yeah.
extremely hot. Yep. Yep.
But here's the thing that gets me, and I'm sure you guys will agree with me. Whoever is leaving, there's a percentage of people who are leaving these states who unfortunately will probably try to vote in the same people who ruin their states. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Just ruin the states they're
Yeah.
moving to, right?
And I just wish they weren't so dense and there was a little bit more brain in there.
Yep.
Because like there's a reason you guys are leaving. There's a reason San Francisco is being people are I don't know if you've seen this because I don't really follow the news, but I'll see it on Instagram and on YouTube. People in Cali, man, in LA and San Francisco, they're just breaking into luxury brand stores and just stealing everything.
It's
And there's no
insane.
bail now. The punishments are so minuscule. Nobody's worried about going to the jail. They just get released afterwards.
Well, I think they decriminalized petty theft, right?
Right.
I think that happened.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, same thing like
So-
Oregon, you know, like decriminalized, I think like hard drugs. So it's like, you know, all these places, it's just, you know, like, I mean, we can't continue to go down that path, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, it is. Yeah, listen, it is what it is. Like I grew up in New York, in Manhattan. If you go into a store to rob it, the cops might come by the time you get there, but you might get away with it. And down here in South Florida, and I'm sure it's like that in the Carolinas,
Yep.
if I have a store and someone pulls up to my store to try to rob it, I'm just gonna wait there with a gun in my hand. And it's that simple. It's not,
Exactly.
it's easy, just easily solved problem, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I'm very much happy to welcome whoever comes, so long as they hopefully understand that this place is what it is for a reason. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm with
For
you,
sure.
man.
I'm glad. I figured we'd be on the same page.
Yeah, no, I'm with you for sure.
Awesome. So yeah, so back to you, Veda. In terms of, and I'm just like trying to formulate a couple of questions. In terms of social media, what are some things that you, because I'm building a YouTube channel, obviously, and my channel is nowhere near that size. I do think YouTube, like TikTok, has a different algorithm where videos are much shorter. I mean, obviously you can do very short videos on YouTube, but because it's long form and because I don't have notoriety, I'm really trying to understand how to build social media, because I love doing the videos. I do all kinds of different edits. Like I was even thinking of putting like a little Darth Vader hat on you because it's and like a Luke Skywalker thing on you, you know, and I'll do all different.
Yeah, you've
kind
got
of
the right
random-
idea.
I love doing that shit. I have a blast with it. My editor puts it all in. I had
Yeah.
this Russian luxury realtor a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of sounds like Putin. So I had Putin on a horse. You know, Putin classic. There's like a couple of pictures of him on a horse with this
Yep.
fancy Russian like military uniform, and I just photoshopped this realtor's face and put him right next to Putin on the same, you know, the same horse with the same outfit, but I photoshopped his face and I put like this
That's
Russian
funny.
music in the background. But I love doing that shit. I'll put Family Guy things, South Park, I'll put random anything. I'll just throw it in there just to, you know. But in terms of growing a channel, I mean, there's probably an element of luck, obviously, because, and I'm not saying that, I'm not like throwing that out there and discrediting you. But in terms of, like you mentioned, some videos you put tons of work into and they don't blow up. And then you'll make a video that you're like, whatever, I didn't really put much effort into, and that blows up.
Yeah, it's really
So,
frustrating, honestly.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's really frustrating, but I'm not really into YouTube. I wish I was.
Mhm.
Because what I understand, I follow this family's vlog, and I mean, they make a killing on YouTube. And YouTube, I feel like, is one of those things, it's just like a platform that's always going to be there versus TikTok. Like it just came out like 3 years ago. So, I mean, you never know when it's going to, like a new social media platform is going to come around. So I have been wanting to get into YouTube. I don't know much about YouTube.
Do you have
Never
a
edited
YouTube channel or no?
videos. No, so we have a channel, never posted anything about it or anything on it.
You have a huge
So
following to transfer over though.
yeah, but from what I've heard, it's not as easy transferring followers from TikTok to YouTube as it would be from like TikTok to Instagram.
It's true. It's true. Definitely. I'm seeing that now. I'm seeing that with a few people. There's this girl I know that has a pretty large TikTok. She has like not as large as you. It's like
Mhm.
300 something thousand. Her Instagram has about 55,000, and her YouTube, she just started posting a couple of days ago, and she's just blasting it with YouTube shorts. And she has like 60 subscribers. I'm sure it'll grow,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's, you think about, she's got a couple of 100,000 TikTok followers. You'd think she'd have like 20,000 subscribers by now, but
Yeah.
I think what it is if they can get the same content on TikTok than they're getting on her YouTube channel, there's no reason to really go over there. And for right now, she's just posting the same, she's taking her TikTok shorts and she's putting it on YouTube. So until she
Yeah.
puts longer form content where they're getting a sneak peek on TikTok and then they go and see the longer, deeper version on YouTube, then I think they're more incentivized to go see it. You
I
agree?
mean, I do that too. Like, there's a few families that I follow. I mean, I hardly ever watch their vlogs just because, I mean, vlogs are so much longer versus when I go to their TikTok, I can keep up with what they're doing in their daily lives in 15 seconds. Like, it's just much more convenient on TikTok versus YouTube.
It is 100%. The thing is also, I feel like, and I'm not a TikToker. Do you think TikTok has as much potential for monetization? Say if you have comparatively 1 million subscribers on YouTube and 1 million subscribers on TikTok. Do you think it's situationally dependent, or do you think generally one is more than the other?
I don't really know. I feel like I don't know. I'm not really into YouTube. I wish I was more, so I don't really have any insights on YouTube at all.
Okay.
But I do feel like you can make a lot more money on TikTok or a lot more money on YouTube, and YouTube will be around a lot longer than TikTok. So
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
something that I would definitely want to get into sooner than later.
yeah. It seems like the staple site, like it'll always be around.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
been around since I was a little kid.
yeah, it's going to be around for a while. I mean, I don't really see the other ones going, like Instagram and Facebook.
Hmm.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like these are all, I don't see them going anywhere.
No.
I mean, I hope
So
not, but
I mean, there's probably going to be no, go on.
yeah, when Musically was around like 5 years ago, TikTok bought out Musically, so then all the Musically followers lost all their followers and had to pretty much start over.
That
So
sucks.
yeah,
It's going
same
to be a
exact
waiting
app.
show.
They just changed the name and I guess changed some minor things on the app.
So that's why I take Gary Vee. I'm sure you guys have heard of Gary Vee, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's why I used to follow him all the time. Now I kind of just check in every now and then. But I mean, he says it simply, just be on everything, because if something drops, you're on all platforms. I'm so not a social media guy by nature, but I understand the value of it. And I mean, there's so much potential in it. You're both seeing that right now as a couple. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's like you can be persistent for 3 years and barely see any growth. And then you put out this video or several videos that just hit it, you hit it out the park with them, and your life has changed overnight.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it's
Yep.
just, and with me, I love the podcast. It's absolutely just something I enjoy doing. I don't just do it for the hope of getting a big following. Of course, that's a huge part of it, but I love doing it. So I know it'll grow. I know it'll continue to grow. I just have to keep implementing and tweaking and learning the right things. And obviously, the more capital I'm willing to throw at it, and hire certain people and make sure that I'm learning how all these algorithms work, then at some point it'll work. I mean, a lot of these big guys weren't recognized for years. Gary Vaynerchuk was doing content for like 10 years until anyone ever knew who he was. A lot of these people. I mean, even Joe Rogan. You guys know Joe Rogan, right?
Yep.
He was doing his podcast for years before anyone really knew about it. He already was kind of famous with Fear Factor, but his podcast wasn't really a thing for a long time.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. Now it's the biggest in the world, I think.
yeah, dude, it's insane how big it is.
Yeah. It's not, same like Grant Cardone too, I mean,
Yeah,
Grant Cardone's been in business for, I mean, what, like 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, he's just now recently, getting like a really, really big following.
Mhm.
So I think that's it, man. I mean, it's just persistence. And then, I think sometimes it's just your time. Like Ryan Pineda. I don't know if you follow
Sure,
him.
I know Ryan Pineda. Yeah.
He's awesome. I've recently started following him. But he just got big really recently too. And to go back to what you said earlier, TikTok versus YouTube, I think Ryan has like 165,000 subscribers, something like that.
Mhm.
And I want to say he's making like multiple six figures in six figures in monthly revenue from his
Mhm.
YouTube channel. I just watched his video on it, but yeah, no, YouTube's insane. If you take 1 million YouTube subscribers and 1 million TikTok followers, I mean, like that video Veda had that got like, I don't know, 50 million views or whatever. I think YouTube pays like 1 cent per view. I mean, that video would have made like $50,000, I think, in ad revenue.
No, yeah.
So
So
it's crazy.
based on that, there's more monetization in YouTube in terms of like the views that YouTube will pay you. But in terms of ads, I mean, if Gymshark wants to pay both of you, or either Vader or
Yep.
both of you to advertise their products, I mean, they can pay whatever they offer to pay and whatever you guys agree to take. So if they're like, okay, well, you guys have 1 million followers, we'll pay you 20 grand an ad. You guys can always negotiate it for 30. Maybe they'll pay 30. But once you have a large enough following, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yep.
So, I mean, and you also know that when you get to that foundational level, you're already in such a small percentage of the human population. So few people have that kind of number that if you just continue to be consistent, it's only going to go up from there.
I sure hope so. Yeah, hopefully we're going to start a YouTube channel sometime soon so we can try to
Awesome.
transfer those followers over to YouTube and do more in-depth videos and like more
Mhm.
home life versus like the little tiny 15 seconds you see on TikTok of our lives, like more real stuff.
Oh, it sounds good. I really hope it works out. And on my channel, again, is smaller, but there are certain things that I've studied, like in terms of thumbnails, like
Mhm.
which thumbnails work. So if there's anything I can help you guys with, happy to do so. I'm
For sure,
always
man.
trying to get advice from bigger YouTubers as well. So, I've gotten some good nuggets from some bigger people too. Yeah. So guys, thank you for coming. It's been a
Yeah,
great
thanks for
Of
having
episode.
course,
us.
man. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna make sure to again post your links. And
Awesome.
yeah, to Grant Veda, thanks so much. We'll be in touch.
All
Awesome.
right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
All right.
man. Thanks for having
Absolutely. Have a good
Bye.
one, guys.
Nice to meet you.
us. All right.
You too.
man.
Bye.